Gateway Gamers podcast.
Hello, welcome to Gateway Gamers. My name is Brian. This is a podcast where I introduce my friend RP Walsh to my game collection one at a time in an attempt to purge my collection. It hasn't gone too well. RP, how are you, sir?
I'm doing great on this Super Bowl Sunday.
That's right.
What's up? This is the earliest recording I've ever done in my life. Happy Sunday. Happy Monday to you guys listening. I'm doing well.
Congratulations to the insert name
team
here on winning the Super Bowl. So as I said, this is a podcast where I'm kind of trying to purge my collection. You were over recently for game day. It's been a while since you've seen my collection. What do you think? Is it less, more, about the same?
It's more. You had a stack of new games that was taller than you.
So we pulled out all the unmatched sets that I have. We pulled out not even just
three Marvel United boxes.
Uh-huh.
And it was insane. It was
we had them stacked on the wall next to me, and it was legit taller than me when I was like sitting down.
And your wife was just like staring at it, and you're like, no wonder why she hates it.
Yeah. She was. We were getting all the Marvel United pieces out, the kind of characters we want. Because the one problem I have with that game is like storage and the boxes, and you got to open one box, get this character, one box, get another character. So she's watching me pull these sleeves of characters out. She's just staring, and I went, "There's more coming."
Yep.
Like there's more coming in May or June. Like legit, more. Probably will be taller than me.
Yeah, I mean the box you got last year when the X-Men Kickstarter finally arrived, with the couple additional boxes you bought, was insane. Like it's crazy. But I mean, like, what else are they supposed to do?
Yeah, there's no storage solution for that game besides what it is. And you saw the blasphemy I was committing where I was taking some of the boxes and just throwing characters in there without any insert.
I don't think we can talk about that on here.
Yeah, I have to. I need room. Like,
no, you don't.
The whole point of this was to purge, and I have more than ever.
Get rid of your other games that you don't like.
I'm trying. That's why we're playing, so we can decide these games that I don't need. These games that I don't need in my collection. Games that I don't play enough.
Every game that you have purged that we have played has been a game that you've bought new. It's not been in your collection.
That's not true.
When was the last one that you purged that you had before we started the podcast?
I mean, they were in my collection for a couple months.
Because that's how long it took us to play them. They were still sealed new. That Bob Ross game, that was brand new.
Not Bob Ross. We didn't play that. The Kenny G.
Oh, sorry, Kenny G. Yeah.
I mean, that's under $20. It's free.
Wonka game. New.
You wanted that, and you ended up with it.
So I didn't want that. I that was all you. And then Funfair. New.
Anyway, welcome to
the only thing that's been purged is the Marvel United holder box. It seems
the boxes of Marvel United. I don't know. As I said, we're getting back into the groove. We're going to start purging these games out of this collection.
I'm sorry if you feel attacked.
I can't. As a gamer, if you're a listener and you're a gamer, you know it's hard. Even if these games
it is hard.
Are on the shelf for years and you never touch them, you just don't want to get rid of them. But I have to. To start getting rid of games.
As a new gamer, I understand. Because you gave me that Wonka game.
And
it hasn't played. I haven't played it. But I refuse to get rid of it. Because I'm like, this was a fun game.
Yeah, you're like, I'll play it someday. And then
every time I try and play, I'm just like, I don't want to learn a new game. Let me play something else. So
yeah, we need better wives and friends. That's the problem. But anyway, one of the games that we played on our big game day was a hit, actually. This is a game that has been in my collection for a little bit, not as long as some of these dusty ones, but it has been in a collection for some time. It's a game my wife actually enjoys. It's a game I introduced to you that you actually really enjoyed.
Yeah.
And hopefully you'll introduce to Audra, she'll enjoy, and then we can hopefully get off the shelf at your place and play it more. Doomlings. So what was your first impression of Doomlings just from like the box? Let's not say gameplay yet, but when I
Sure.
kind of
So,
pulled it out and introduced it to you.
well, the box caught my eye, did its job. It's flashy. It's you're like, oh, this looks fun. Simple art. And I was like, okay, I wonder what this is going to be.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, you're like, it's a card game. It's pretty simple. And I was like, okay. It was like one of those things where I was like, all right, well, let's just get it over with, play it so we can move on. Um, and even the simplicity of the design, I actually really liked it. There was a couple cards that actually genuinely made me laugh. Like they were funny, um, simple gameplay, but still interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't mind like it's mindless, but it's not completely mindless because
Mm-hmm.
there is some thought to the game. I know you asked just about the design. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
that's fine.
The only thing I would say is the cards are a little flimsy, but they don't need to be like hard card stock. There's like no
Okay.
reason for it.
Now, we'll talk more about that later. But so this is a game that came out on Kickstarter around 2021. So this is pretty much around the time that we started our podcast because I remember seeing this game and when I was doing the whole kick it or kickstart it bit that we need to bring back. This was a game that kind of popped up, and from first glance, I kind of was like, I don't know, like it just seemed like just simple almost, like the art style of just like these cubed characters. It wasn't like super eye catching to me. Not that I need like extravagant art per game, but I was like, okay, like it's not made by a company that's well known. It's just kind of like simple, which is fine. But I was like, I don't know if this is going to be for me. The Kickstarter did great. They made way past their goal. They wanted 10,000. They got 653,000.
Wow.
So they did well. It was a cheap buy and it was like 35 bucks for the base game. Like everything about it worked for them. Since then, I kind of talked to you about their social media presence has been amazing. Like they're like constantly being goofy on there. They're promoting themselves constantly on threads, on Instagram, Facebook. I see them pop up everywhere. They're kind of self-deprecating with I think I told you they had Joel McHale
Yeah.
from Community be a spokesperson. He did like a little commercial where he was just kind of like almost trashing the game, saying that he pretty much never played it. They just paid him to be a sponsor. So like I appreciated that. They are
That's
like
fun.
self-deprecating and they have fun with it and they kind of are like just getting out there but being goofy. And I was like, all right, like I like this. Like I kind of enjoy that type of game company.
Mhm.
So I was like, all right, let me check it out. Actually reached out to them, said like, hey, like if you need reviewers, like send us a copy. And they were like, yeah, no problem. So they sent this to us a while ago. And as I said, I played with my wife a few times and she really enjoyed it. Haven't been able to introduce it to you just because of our roadmap of plans we kind of had. Finally introduced it to you.
I played like 4 times.
Yeah, I think we played. Yeah, we played a couple times. And my wife came home and she played with us again. And no spoiler, but I really enjoyed this game. Let's give you some stats on the game. Doomlings officially came out in 2022. It plays for 2 to 6 players, plays for 20 to 45 minutes, ages 10 plus, designed by Justice Meyer and Andrew Meyer, and published by Doomlings LLC. So, like I said, this is a self published game, which is really cool. It's made by two brothers. And the whole history of them designing this game was they're gamers. And then right before the pandemic happened, I think they started trying to design a game. And then the pandemic happened and they had all this time. The one brother lost his job. So he's like, oh, I'm just going to go all in. Like, I have
Yeah.
time now. Like, let me start to design this game. The artist, I think Andrew's the artist, taught himself computer programming artwork because he
Wow.
has on the Kickstarter, they have him like penciling out the stuff, and he was like, it just wasn't good enough. So he took the time on YouTube, learned all these programs to do the artwork. And as we kind of said, the artwork for the creatures themselves are simple, but the catastrophe cards
Oh
are
yeah.
like way more intricate. And I enjoyed that. I'm like, ah, that's cool. Like he taught himself how to do this. Like I could never, but he did. So I thought that was a neat part of it too, as well, the history of it. And then it's a like a take that hand management type of game with end game bonuses, as we'll kind of talk about with the play style, what that all means. All right, now we got some info. Let's hit you with some back of the box.
Somewhere on a doomed and distant planet, life has emerged, competing for dominance until the world's inevitable destruction. Score points by playing traits for your Doomling species, making them more adaptable, resilient, and mischievous. Play traits across multiple rounds, called ages. But be warned, hidden in the ages are catastrophes, special rounds that befall the planet, forcing you to adapt your strategy until the end of the world.
Beautiful, beautiful reading of the back of the box.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
So let's get into gameplay. All right, to set up the game, you take the ages cards, which are there's two decks of cards. There's traits and then there's ages. Ages are like round altering type cards. So you take 9 of those, you make 3 stacks of them. In those piles, in that deck, there's catastrophe cards, which are like the game ending type of thing that happens. You take 3 of those, put them on top of the 3 piles, shuffle each individual pile, and then stack those piles on top of each other. So you have the 3 catastrophes in there randomly, but there's no way they could come up like in a row to end the game. And then each player gets 5 traits. You get a gene pool card, which is like basically one of the cards, but it's colored with like bubbles and whatnot. It just looks a little different, but it has numbers on each of the sides, and that's just your gene pool, which is how many cards you could draw. Cards you kind of play affect the gene pool, either negatively or positively. So it's just like a little marker on how many cards you can have in your hand at the end of the turn, which I thought was neat. It's just like a simple mechanic of just having a card in front of you instead of like a counter or like dice or anything. And then gameplay kind of follows where you play one trait in your hand from your hand to your gene pool in front of you. There's red, green,
Purple,
purple, blue different cards.
gray.
Yeah, they're the colorless ones. I'm not sure if the colors mean anything. Like I think green was definitely more like natural. Like it seemed like green was like a lot more
Yeah.
photosynthesis and growth and stuff
And
like
blue,
that.
yeah, and the blue was more ocean creatures because there was the
Okay.
whale, the octopus, or whatever.
Yeah, and I guess red was more
Red was fire and like
yeah, it
protein
seemed
and
like more
like
carnivorous. Like it was definitely like more teeth than fangs
well
and
that yeah, well purple was the teeth and the big ears. So I think that was more like evolution.
yeah, maybe.
And
Yeah,
then
I'm curious
red
to look
was
into that
like
more. I didn't really put the colors into different types until I kind of just thought of it now. So that's the gameplay. You're taking these cards, you're putting them in front of you, and you're trying to create the like most advanced species or species that will survive the end of the world because the theme of the game is you're a new species just starting out on a planet. These ages cards are just kind of like say hundreds of years of your planet that are happening. So it'll be like the age of glacial drift, and that card for the round doesn't let you play blue cards. I think another one was like an eclipse card didn't let you play red cards. Like
yeah,
it
there was like
just
a
it's an
handful of
interesting
those.
kind of theme
Yeah.
for like the game.
A lot of
Um
a lot of situational things.
yeah. Yeah, I mean that's truly it. Like it's play a card, do what it says at the bottom. It has like a number, that's how many points it's worth at the end of the game. And it might
Nice.
have some other like situational things where it's like you have more red, this is worth this. If you have pairs, it's worth this. Like it's
Yeah, like double the points for if you have multiple pairs plus 2 points.
mhm,
Some grays were like whatever your gene pool is, that's what the value of this card at the end of the game. Things like that. It was cool. It was fun. It wasn't boring. But it wasn't anything new. Like the
mhm,
only new thing that I think was just what was on the cards. Like it was a fun little like little designs that had theme. Each card had
mhm.
their own theme and they were fun, but it's not like it was like photosynthesis and then, draw 6 cards or anything like that.
Yeah.
It's not like it was that kind of theme, but it was just like a fun. This is what the game is, plus points, minus points kind
Hmm.
of thing.
Yeah. Simple. Like it didn't need to be any more complicated than
Yeah.
what it was.
There were a couple cards. I don't know if you want to wait to get into this, but there were like a couple cards that was like draw four or like discard three or something like that. And we were like, because at the end of each round you can
mhm.
restabilize. So that would be the only perk of it. But it's like when the game ends, if you have cards in your hand, it doesn't matter. So we were like, well, what's the point of that? You
So
remember that?
yeah, I think, and I think it's a positive and a negative that we'll talk about on the size of how many cards are in this game because the trait deck is gigantic. Like it's easily over 100 different traits. And the game is so quick, again, to its benefit and its detriment, that you're not even like you realistically only play like 30 cards like
Yeah.
within the game. Like between the two of you, not even like in front of you. Like in front of you, you might have 10 cards because it's
Yeah.
really random on how quick the game could end because of the ages. And as I said, like the three catastrophes are randomly mixed in there. So the game might only be like 9 rounds, if that. So you're only playing 9 cards in front of you. So you're not seeing like really any of the deck. So it's, as
Mhm.
I said, it's a detriment that there's so many cards, which is great because the replayability. But at the same time, you can't make sometimes a viable strategy because there's so many cards. Where it's like the one card, the
And
liver, I think it was. It's like it's worth as many livers as you have.
yeah, but if you only
If
have one,
there's 8 in the deck, you're not getting 8. Like there's no
no.
way. Like so it's a card that was like I don't know
This
if I want
game
to play
is,
this because I'll never
but
I
it's
might
also,
not get another liver.
was it the liver, like the liver that you had, or just on the table?
So the liver was
I think
how
it's
many
just
livers you
you
have.
have. Yeah,
The
they all
card that
were.
you played, Swarm, was how many swarms were on the table.
Okay, so that one's built for a game of five people or something.
Yeah.
But even like, and when you talk about like the replayability and the cards and everything, you're absolutely right and you're nailing it. And then there's also the side effect too of like when you draw one of the cards and like gray cards can't be played this round
Hmm.
or colorless, I'm sorry, and or purple or whatever. So then that throws off. So if you don't even if that's what you have, like and you for whatever reason, those are the only colors you have,
Hmm.
then you don't even get to play a card that turn. But like there is no real strategy to it. You can
Hmm.
think of a strategy, but then most of the time it ends up getting upended because you'll play a card where we switch hands,
Hmm.
or things like that.
Yeah, it comes down, unfortunately, sometimes to what card do I have in my hand that's worth the most points?
That's
Like what's
basically
the
how
number
I
at the
play it.
bottom that's worth if I have a 4, a card that's worth 4 points, but it has no actions or extra benefits, I might still want to play that over a card that does because the benefits from the other card I may never see.
Yeah, for
And it's
sure.
not
But basically, the
again,
way
yeah,
you
it's
have to play is like you gotta have to play for the now. Each
mhm,
turn you have to play because I tried to a couple times and I will say like 50-50 it worked out. Um, by like trying to plan ahead a little bit. But yeah, you really have to play, okay, what can get me the most right now?
yeah, yeah, it's definitely situational, which maybe is part of the design. I don't know. It's not a game that you can kind of plan ahead. It is just like,
Well, I mean, it's like when a catastrophe happens.
yeah,
You
like
can't plan for
evolution. It
you
just,
can't really plan for catastrophe. I mean,
yeah,
I
the
guess you can, but
situation of what's going on now. But like I said, I think I enjoyed the traits. I enjoyed after kind of playing with it, the art style of it all. Like I was like, oh, okay, like it's simple, but it didn't need to be any more than it is. When I introduced it to my wife, she thought it was an exploding kittens game
yeah.
because it is very similar. Like it's just simple, but it doesn't. It's goofy. It's simple. It doesn't need to be.
Well, I had said that too
Yeah, that's right. When I pulled out for you, you said the same thing as well.
because the art style is similar.
Yeah, it's just simple. It doesn't have to be very lavish. But as I said, the ages cards are beautiful. Like I like the contrast of these goofy, simple characters, but every ages card was like
Yeah, they were cool.
almost
They're
this
very cool.
beautiful landscape looking picture. Like it just the
Mhm.
contrast of the two things I thought were very interesting in design. And then, like I said, the traits were neat. Every card had a little quote on it, which I thought it was like funny and punny, which is nice. And they changed it up, but I think the ages and the catastrophes were like what really made this game going in the sense that like not being able to play blue for like a round like
Yeah.
wasn't devastating, but it was enough where we're kind of saying like you have to plan for the now where you're like all right, and you have to play like some other card you don't want to play.
Hmm.
Some of the other ones were pretty simple too, whereas like don't play gray, discard a card from your hand at random. You can't play purple, can't play red, draw one and discard from your hand. Like very simple, but very like annoying, but not too awful. And then the catastrophe cards were like really interesting, where it would negate your gene pool. I think each one seemed to negate your gene pool, so that's how many cards you can have in your hand. And then the one that hit us last night was like discard all your cards except one.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
remember my wife being annoyed. She's like, I had a good hand. She's like,
She was pissed.
I had a good thing going. She had to
Yeah.
reduce down to one card.
Yeah. She was bad.
And then each one of the cards has a world end trait at the bottom as well, but you only activate that if it's the last one. So after you draw three catastrophes, that's the end of the game. What it says at the bottom in yellow, like, also happens. So it might be like discard three purple cards, discard one blue. So again, it's you're strategizing, but you can still
Yeah.
like get kind of screwed over in the end. But that's the gameplay. It's extremely simple. People compare it to Flux. I don't see it. I think
I
it's
mean, other than just the rapidly kind of changing each card turn, that's like it.
yeah. It's definitely
Flux is a lot more like frustrating
yeah. It's
like
a
but
lot
like
more random.
in a fun way. Like you know
Hmm.
what I mean? But yeah.
Yeah, but
Um,
I compare it to the simplicity of like I think I said grass is greener. That
yeah.
game that I
Sure.
covered. Exploding Kit. Like it's simple, but it's fun. Like I really enjoyed this game.
I think a
Um,
decent price point. I think it's a decent price point.
yeah, I think the MSRP was I think
Like
30, 35 at Target, if
you can
that.
get a 25, 24 on Amazon.
Yeah, then they have expansions. They have like or not dragon. They have a dinosaur one that adds like more dinosaur traits. They have one that's like fantasy that adds like fantasy traits like elf ears and it
It's
just
cool,
adds
but
more. It adds more, you get more catastrophes. And
that's
then they
cool, but
have what's that?
I said that's cool, but like
Yeah, I mean if you
not
like the game and
necessary.
play it enough, but
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. But not needed.
then they have a new set, which is like a TCG, and I think that's where it's kind of they
Dumb.
missed their mark a bit, where you're buying packs and it's random cards in there to keep you buying them, and
Dumb. That's not what this game is. Dumb.
yeah, it's
I'm less diplomatic, I guess, with my response. It's stupid. They
yeah,
shouldn't.
it's it they missed the mark on that one. I just don't think it's for me, but you and I kind of know people that like cracking packs and
Yep.
they could become addicting.
Sure.
All right, so let's go through it. Just kind of we'll break it down piece by piece of what we liked, what we didn't like. So, theme and setting. What did you?
Fun.
Yeah. So the theme it comes through in a way. I had to tell you what the theme was a second game for you to go, "Oh, okay." So it's there, but it's kind of like
Yeah, it's fun. It's perfect for what it is.
mhm. Yeah, like the idea that you're creating this new race of creatures to survive the end of the world. I thought was like a neat theme. Replayability,
Through the
I think
roof.
it's through the roof. Absolutely. Again, to its detriment and its bonus that the deck is so huge that you may never see a card. It stinks for the initial game strategy that you're playing, but there are cards in that deck, even after playing five, six times and more, you won't see.
for
or
sure.
might be like new. We kept getting teeth though. How many times?
Teeth.
That was my favorite card. Teeth. Teeth.
Uh-huh.
Um, Table presence. I think this game looks great. I think throwing all these cards out. I think the color's bright. It's vibrant. The cards themselves, like
The box.
the
I like the
border,
box.
yeah, the box looks good. I think the characters really kind of pop. And then, as I said, the catastrophes and the thing, like it's interesting the contrast when you have it all laid out. If someone's walking by, they're like, "What is this game?" Because you have these beautiful cards and then these weird creatures and the bright colors. Like I think if someone's walking by and sees this on the table, they're gonna be like, What are they playing? Like, what is this game?" So I think it has really good table presence.
Hmm.
All right, next up, ease of play.
Super easy.
Yeah, yeah, I think this game is perfect for families. It's perfect for kids. This is a great gateway game.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, this is a game where you're like, hey, like, I want to play this game, and they look at it and are like, what is this? And how long did it take for me to explain it to you?
A minute.
Yeah, not even. I think
Not
it
even.
was always just like, all right, we're doing this. Play one card, do this, and you were like, okay, got it. So
Yep.
I think the ease of play, teachability is there. I think the instructions on in the box has a QR code for teaching the game, which is awesome. One of the things I
That's
absolutely
just
love.
that's what every game should be
Yep.
because it's just it's just easier.
Yeah, at this point, if you're putting a game that's not Monopoly into a big retail store, you need
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
a video
video.
to kind of coincide because there's some dumb people out there. Because what some of the reviews I read, they're like, "This game's too hard." It's too. I'm like, "There's this
Yeah,
is
it's not hard. This game isn't hard at all.
this is
It's just
a
people who don't read and don't try.
yeah." And then tactics, luck, and strategy.
Yeah, fine.
Yeah, it's there, but as we kind of talked about,
There's not real strategy.
it's extremely luck heavy. The take that aspect of it
Yeah.
is there, but it's not heavy. Like I stole a few of your cards,
Hmm.
but it's not like the main point of the game. It's not every card you're playing is shuffling the cards in front of you with everyone else. And as we kind of said, with some of the cards, you can make some kind of strategy, but with the deck being so big and it all being so random, it's hard to. But again, being a positive and negative, I like that there's a lot of cards. I like that there's a lot of options, but it's just too much sometimes. It needs more options of like kind of going through the deck maybe
Yeah.
and grabbing
Yeah.
cards that you want. I think that could if but that
There
might be in
was
there as we kind of said.
there was
There's
one
so
for
many
a
cards we haven't seen.
there was one for a discard pile that I saw.
Okay. And then same thing with kind of the card you were talking about where it was like draw four and we could have figured out a strategy for it. It might have been in there.
Yeah.
But if it's
Yeah.
not super obvious, it's kind of hard. Like, why is it there?
Maybe if
But
you're looking for more swarm or like more kidneys or something, maybe.
yeah, maybe. Yeah, and maybe that's it. It's just more hand management because you do have to discard down if you have too many cards. So maybe that's it.
Yeah.
It's just getting more
Also,
in your
just
hand, discarded down.
it just kind of feels like a component to have in a game like this.
Yeah. But so Doomlings was purged out of my collection. Not
Yes, sir.
because I don't like it. It's just I have too many similar games. But RP, did you take the game?
I did take the game.
All right, so the
Mm.
game was gifted to RP at least.
And we'll see if my wife likes it.
Yeah. So
She will.
that'll be
She
the new
will.
thing. If it's
Yeah.
purged and if you take it,
Yeah,
good.
it's like
If
it's
not,
like it's like deal or no deal.
yeah. If not, it ends up in the trash like Kenny G did.
You know what? It was sad. Kenny G ended up because it's all recyclable material. Ended up in my recycling bin, and we got a downpour of rain, and I just watched it disintegrate in the recycling bin.
Poor
It was
Kenny
funny.
G.
It was
Poor
funny.
Prospero Hall,
I
RIP.
I stared at it as sad jazz music played.
You should have that would have been a great video just out in the rain. That's not even his song. I love that that's the only
No,
like jazzy song.
that's the only.
Yeah. Well, it's that new Instagram one that
No, I have no
that
idea.
you're not on IG enough to know. That's like the new one.
Nope, I'm a Twitter guy or
Yeah.
X. Sorry.
Me and producer Audra. But
Yeah.
anyway, um thank you guys for listening. Check out Doomlings for sure. If you need a gateway game, if you need a family game, if it sounded like it was something up your alley, available at Target, Amazon. They have it on their own website.
Maybe your friendly local
Probably at
game
Walmart.
store.
It's probably anywhere you can get it.
Yeah, maybe at your game store. I don't know.
Maybe, yeah, friendly local game stores. And then when you're checking out that website, also check out Redbubble and TeePublic and check out our merch, stickers, hats, shirts. Always recommend just a sticker. And this is for anyone that you kind of follow if they have merch. Just a simple sticker always helps out. And then always, as we always kind of say, go on, rate anywhere that you listen to, Good Pods, Apple, Spotify, wherever you can rate. And again, not just us, this is any podcast listen to. It really means a lot. Even if you don't leave a comment, the star system really helps push your favorite commenter to the top.
Absolutely.
YouTuber, just whatever. Just if you like them, it's as simple as that. Just give a star.
Absolutely.
All right. Thank you guys so much. And
Thank you all.
we are going to be going, this main show of RP and I is going to be once a month. Not for any particular reason, just time management.
We hate each other.
Yeah, and we hate each other, and we hate doing the show, but we're forced to do it for no reason. No, but just for time management, it's just been tough for us to get together. Obviously, this is over Zoom. It's tough for us to get in the same room with everything going on. So this main show will be going once a month, unless we have like something we need to promote, or if it's something that kind of works out. I will be trying to do like maybe a solo episode bi-weekly, whether it just be some news, a review, some Kickstarters. We're just gonna try to jump on as much as we can. But as of now, us two, the Gateway Gamers, as you love us, will be once a month for now. Might change in the foreseeable future, but.
And the full disclosure, when we do have the chance to get together, we enjoy just playing games.
Yeah, I think that's just kind of what it's become. Is there are days we just want to play and not worry about recording.
Yeah, because it does take a chunk out of the time and the limited time. We know, as we always say, never enough time.
Yeah, but thank you for
all.
listening, and we'll see you guys in a month.
Yep, enjoy the Super Bowl.
Yeah, congratulations to insert winners here.
Score points by playing traits for your Doomling species. Sorry.
What happened?
I kind of like ran. I ran downstairs.
You ran out of breath.
I did.
Saw you go.
I never caught my breath before I started. I just kind of went into it. Score points by playing traits for your Doomling species.
You gotta start over. I can't.
Oh,
Get the fuck out.
Come on. The first part was good. I wasn't a fucking monkey. Oh, Jesus.
All right.